Okay, so hi everybody. Assalamu alaikum. My name is Farryal. I have been associated with teaching and learning since the last 15 years. I have been associated with lots of private schools, good chain schools of Pakistan. I've been teaching there, and also I'm right now heading a school, a private school in Pakistan, and I've been there since the last 14 years. So I'm very happy to be here in this space. I did not know that this kind of space exists in our country as well, but it's so nice to know, and I am thankful to Madam Asia for that, that she gave me the opportunity to be addressing to this kind of a community. Uh, because we rarely see these kind of communities in our country, unfortunately, because of the current ongoing uncertain situation. Anyhow, um, my topic for today is personal and professional development, because I feel why I chose this topic, because I thought that many a times I come across people who come to us, and they are holding a degree of MPhil. Mostly the new young generation, the young blood which comes into our offices, they are holding an MPhil degree. And when you start talking to them, you feel that the lack, where you see that they are not trained by our universities in various soft skills. And we also learned those in our practical lives. If uh, some people are here like Asia, who is also a working woman and a practical person from the last so many years. So I believe that our own children, our own sons and daughters, we need to communicate with them the importance of this very aspect of a person. Every personality should have these traits, where he or she is not only benefiting his career by improving upon his or her professional skills, but he or she must also be aware that as a person, he or she should also grow and learn and come out of their comfort zones. So, can I make this interactive, or I'll just keep on talking, and afterwards we can do these question answers, or I can do it interactive.
Whatever you feel like, Farryal, आपको जो भी अच्छा बेहतर लगे. You can
Okay.
make it interactive.
Right.
You can ask question, or
Right.
you can deliver the material and after.
Right.
Okay.
So fine. So I would like to be a little interactive, because I feel that even in classrooms as well, when we deliver lectures, we do not believe in just a teacher-centered sort of a classroom. We do make it a student-centered classroom. So I would like to know if anybody is willing to share their opinion regarding what is their thinking about personal development. How can we develop personally? How can we develop ourselves as a person? How can we make a better version of ourselves? If anybody wants to share their opinion on this. Okay, so uh, in my opinion, I think personal development is something which is when you consciously start working on your own habits and activities, and you improve yourself, or when somebody improves oneself by consciously working on their habits and their activities. In my opinion, that is personal development. And when I was browsing today regarding personal and professional development, I came across these six or five pillars of personal development, which I found very interesting. I thought to share it with you all. So, first would be the first pillar on which a person's personal development is standing is personal skills. So as Asya told me that it is something which where you people talk about skill sharing or skills. So personal skills, I think personal skills are the skills where you have all those innate abilities that Allah Mia has given everyone of. That those are the personal skills, the innate abilities, the innate expertise that God has given to every human being, which are different. They are the personal skills. For example, somebody can be a good motivator, somebody can be a good communicator, somebody can be a you know a respectful person, somebody can be a person who can collaborate well with others. These are kind of the personal skills that is the first pillar of a person's personal development. Then you can improve upon your collaboration skills, then you can improve upon your motivational skills, then you can, with time and as you age you become wise, but and you improve. So I think I'll leave a thought here and for everyone who are in the session, so that what are the personal skills. Maybe you are a very hardworking person, maybe you are a very intelligent person but not hardworking. You see, so at workplace we call these skills soft skills. You see, so I will leave all of you here with a thought that what are the personal skills that you have, and what are the personal skills that you think that you have and you could improve upon. So the first pillar would be personal skills in a person's personal development. And
Faryaal, I'm
yes,
sorry, your voice is actually distorting.
I think Asya, it is because of the internet, which is not stable across the country.
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
Now it's
So,
clear, I think, ma'am.
Now it is clear. Now it is clear.
okay.
Uh,
So, the second pillar of a person's personal development would be personal growth. Where you know that you are a hardworking person, where you know that you can collaborate well with the other people, where you know that you are respectful to others, then you are thinking about continuously improving yourself. You're continuously talking about that how can you be a better version of yourself. And then you are stepping out of your comfort zone and you're going into that growth zone, and that is your personal growth. So you are aware of the fact and you realize that these are my personal skills, these are my innate abilities that my Allah has given to me. And then you are realizing those personal skills, you are coming into the second pillar, and then you are saying that personal growth is also very important, where I need to work on certain skills that I have, and I need to become a better version of myself. So, the second pillar of personal development would be personal growth. Because as humans, I believe our minds are continuously evolving and we're continuously thinking and we're continuously saying and talking to ourselves and thinking to ourselves that, this is how we can improve ourselves, this is how we can do things. So I believe that personal growth, aspect of personal growth is very important. Then the third pillar would be personal power. So how can you bring in power and the element of empowering your own self? So I think that would be uh, being connected with those people who are like-minded, and you feel supported by the people who are like-minded. And I would also include here that a little element of financial freedom also gives you a power, where you have that personal improvement power, where you can invest in yourself. You see, where you can find opportunities to invest in yourself. By financial freedom, I mean that if you have a sort of financial freedom, rather it is a male gender or female gender, you can have the opportunities to work on and invest on yourself. So personal skills, then personal growth, and then the third pillar of your personal development would be personal power, where you get connected with like-minded people, where you get the support from the like-minded people, where you discuss these things with other people. So that would be third pillar. The uh, 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 fourth pillar will be personal improvement. When you know and realize your personal skills, when you know that you are growing as a person, when you know that you have that power, then you improve. So fourth pillar would be personal improvement, where you have that positive mental attitude towards the work or the study that you are doing, and all those which we say good work habits that comes in, and you see improvement in yourself. After this, I would say the fifth pillar would be personal empowerment, where you bring in the creativity, where you see that how can you change all those things that we do daily in our lives, where we look for faster and better and cheaper ways of doing our daily tasks. For example, in my office, if I go to an example, we used to we used to see that how many students are present every day in the whole school. What we have done now is that we have made a file, and every day at 8:30 or 8:45, an attendance file comes into my office, where from the admission office, the whole school's attendance is in that file. I do not have to see the register of each class. I just look at the file, and I know that how many teachers are present or absent in every class, what is the strength of the student, if it is a rainy day or if it is a day where the students have come after the school, after the holidays, maybe Eid holidays, how many students are present, is there a good number of students. So every day we are thinking upon and looking for the opportunities, that how can we delegate tasks to others, and how can we do things where we lessen the burden of the task on our own self, and give ourselves a freedom and opportunity to empower ourselves. So the personal development, the fifth pillar would be personal empowerment. And the sixth and the last pillar would be personal analysis. You see, um, we need to be aware of the fact that we all need improvement in certain areas. Every person has weaknesses and strengths. And when the leader recognizes those weaknesses and strengths, there we can improve upon. There we can have our self analysis. There we can reflect on our own working and see how can we improve this habit of ours. On which habit, on which attribute, on which personal trait we need improvement on. So you set your short term goals, or you set your long term goals, or you set some personal objectives for your own self, for your own personality, and maybe you design some strategies, maybe you plan something, maybe you upon that this is going to be our line of action, and you hold yourself accountable for that. So I think that would be my uh, uh, sixth pillar. So personal growth and personal skills and personal improvement, personal empowerment, and then personal analysis. When you do this, as a person you improve, as a person you grow, as a person you realize that we have certain traits, we have certain abilities, we have certain strengths and weaknesses, and if we are weak in some areas, we can improve upon that uh, after working on that. So I believe that would be, in my opinion, personal development, and that is very, very Because unfortunately in our education system we sorry, my camera is off. We do not maybe hold ourselves accountable as teachers, that this is also something, a knowledge or a part of information that we need to give it to our students. So I really feel a lack of it when young people come to my office and step into my office, and I feel that is something which we need to make the part of the curriculum, starting with schools, not in colleges and universities. I think starting from school, when you start these kind of habits, making the students aware of their personality, that is something which is you are embedding in the students, making those habits, those things, those self-actualization or self-realization part of their personality, and then it becomes the life skill. So coming to the second slide, which is there a connection between personal development and professional development? Again, if somebody wants to share their opinion, uh, that do they feel is there a connection in these two things?
Sorry,
Uh,
Farryal.
so, so
जी
ma'am, I
जी
think Mr. Sabi has raised hand.
Okay,
I
okay.
think Ms. Faryal
I
has
think,
asked a question.
हाँ जी, हाँ जी.
जी
Sabi
जी
साहब
जी सभी जी
wants to
सभी
ask question, please.
जी सभी
जी, okay, जी, good evening, जी.
गुड
Uh,
इवनिंग.
uh, Just Parayal, you have imparted very useful information, and you have mentioned about various pillars as far as this personal professional development is concerned. I just want to add in this context that according to your presentation or the detailed information which you have just shared with us, that means due emphasis is given to the mental growth, the spiritual growth, the emotional growth, physical, financial, environmental, and also developing communications and social skills when it comes to personal development, because you enumerated about the growth aspects also. So they could be in totality. What I have understood is that these should all be accounted under the subhead personal development. Is it so or not?
Yes, you see, when a person grows intellectually and emotionally, I think that is where they are developing personally. And Sabi Sab, you are completely right that these all things, falls into the category of personal development as well. Because my when I was browsing about this topic, I thought to myself that is there a connection in between? Because I feel that personal development is something where you are working on your own self, and professional development is something where you are working for benefiting your career, right?
Right.
So, but when you are emotionally growing, emotionally becoming wiser, when you are intellectually becoming wiser, so I feel you're right. These things do fall into the category of both the developments, I feel, because if I am asked this question, that is there a connection between personal and professional development, my answer would be a yes.
Okay.
So,
Fair, fair enough.
I, what would be your answer to this question?
No, no, you are very, very right, because actually, when we talk of it, hello, could you hear me, please?
Yes, yes, I am listening to
Okay,
you.
okay. So, in this, for instance, if we just take one aspect of it, like developing communication and social skills, so in
Yes,
itself, it's something which is lifelong and which has got certain plans, maybe short-term, long-term plan when it comes to communication, developing communication and social skills. So there are different areas of activities, and
yes,
how we are to move ahead in that specific area. And definitely there are limitations also. There are boundaries laid down, yardsticks that we cannot overcome all those. So in totality, definitely what I think so, you are very, very right in mentioning all this. Thank you very much.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. So yes, you're very right, Sabi Saab, that we need to we have limitations as well. We have to set boundaries as well. Because of various aspects, maybe age of the students, maybe some situation at the workplace, or maybe some situation at the home where you are, working on these aspects. So I believe, yes, you're right. We have to set boundaries. There are yardsticks, but slowly and steadily, I think we should embed these awarenesses, these realizations in our children, to make them wiser and better. Because I feel for myself, if I talk about it for myself, I did not realize any of my strengths or weaknesses until I stepped into practical life. During my student life, none of my teacher, or maybe my parents or maybe my teachers told me, but maybe I was not aware of the at that time of the fact that what they are talking about. But I believe that I have learned about these things, the softer skills that you say, when I stepped into my practical life. Okay, so we all share the same belief that there is a connection between personal development and professional development. And we all understand and we agree that when you work on your personality, obviously that reflects on your workplace, and that demonstrates your ability to learn more, and that demonstrates to your employer at your workplace that this person wants to learn more and grow and come out of his or her comfort zone, and this is very encouraging for an employer. So we all believe that. Now I want to change the slide, but I don't know. Bilal sir, can you change? Okay, fine. I know it. हो गया.
Oh, all right, all right. No problem.
Okay, so yes. So there are some skills that we need for personal and PPD is a term which is used for this thing, personal and professional development. As Sabi Saab was saying, now here comes the first skill that you need to develop with time for your personal and professional development. Decision making. You see, decision making is something which is not, I think everybody would agree, is not told to us when we are small children. Even I have a 10-year-old daughter, and when she was small, when she was about 2 to 3 years old, I used to do everything for her, and I was maybe discharging my duties of motherhood. But soon I realized that if I am going to do everything for her, and I am not going to let her decide whether she wants to eat or whether she wants to, just run around the house, or whether she wants to cry sometimes, how can she be able to decide later in her life whatever situation comes in for her? So I think decision making and letting the other person taking the power of making a decision is very important. You see, when especially I think maybe people would agree with me that when as females we are not decisive persons sometimes, and we definitely ask for validation from others, and this is what most of the mothers are telling to their daughters as well, that देखो ना, ऐसे नहीं करो, अच्छा नहीं लगेगा सबको, हाँ है ऐसे करोगी तो क्या कहेंगे सब. यू सी, हम बच्चों को अपने ये सिखाते हैं कि उनको अपनी डिसीजन नहीं करनी, या अपनी डिसीजन जो भी है कर ली तो बहुत अच्छी बात है, लेकिन लोग क्या कहेंगे। सो ये मेरा ख्याल है, थोड़ा सा हमें इसके ऊपर consciously work करना चाहिए, personally and professionally. Yes, if you are a good decision maker, if you have that soft skill, if you can lead a team of 4 people, 5 people, 10 people, 50 people, and many a times in our during the working at our workplace we come across these kind of decisions. When, for example, when COVID happened, and suddenly all the teachers, they have to go from traditional method of teaching to online mode of teaching. uh, all the people who were there in the leadership role, they had to take a decision and tell the parents that you need to have certain gadgets at home. You need to have that internet connection for the studies of your children, and telling the teachers as well. And then, without any preparation, without any training, without any support, we did it. So I think at workplace, most of the times, many of the times, you come across moments and situations like this where you have to make the decision. And I'll tell you, as a leader who is leading an institution, I have almost 1,000 students at my school and almost 55 teachers. Those kind of head of the departments, or those kind of great coordinators, or people in hierarchy in an organogram, where they can take quick decisions, and where you can trust them with your decision making skills, and where you can just delegate the task to them, and you are inside of your heart at peace that yes, he or she is going to do this task, and he or she is going to do that work. Same happens when you ask a student to appear for your school in a certain competition, or in a debate something, or naat wagera competition, anything where it is happening. So I think making aware a student or a person in their early age that you need to decide, and or you need to give us your decision is very important. So decision making is a skill. And I have also shared uh, a sort of cartoon where the interviewee is being said that I'm very impressed with your resume, especially the part about your ability to make decisions by yourself. So again, with boundaries, with limitations, with the situation, you need to have this skill, especially in this competitive world. We need to tell our students that they have to be good decision makers, and we can start with small little decisions at home, or at school, or at a college.
Very right, Farryal. Very insightful. I think when person start dealing with his or with her own fears or doubts, I think that is the best, that is the first most important step to to start making decision. And I think person come to making decisions when person start see himself or herself with the appreciation. The first thing is to know yourself and appreciate yourself, and then you would be able to decide on something. So the most important thing to me, which you also describe, is a person should start dealing with their personal or their his own abilities जो उसके पास मौजूद हैं, उससे डील करना is the most important thing. तो decision making जो है उस पे बंदा पहुंचता है. What do you think?
I think you're absolutely right. Again, when a person is in that area, in that space where he can realize his weaknesses and strengths, then he is better able to decide for himself, for his family,
That is all about those six
children.
pillars which you have already described.
Yes,
Then
yes.
that person, if person reach to all those, cross those pillars,
Hmm.
then he would be able to make decision quickly.
Right, right. So then, yes, Miss Shayan, Mohammed Shayan.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
I have a question.
Yes,
We were talking about decision making, right?
right.
So the question is, how can one focus on personal development if there is no professional development? Because I believe that to improve, for one to improve personally, it will be important that you should improve professionally, because without it, we will be just behind the जमाने से पीछे रह जाएंगे ना.
Fine. So you are saying, what I have understood your question is that if a person is not working and he is not developing professionally, how can he
Yes.
develop personally?
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So you see, I was also, you are very right, Shayan, because I was also thinking about people who do not work. Most of our homemakers, the female who are homemakers, who are at home and working for their children and their family. What about them? They do not have the access to certain I would say a climate, an atmosphere where people are discussing and people are talking about development and people are talking about soft skills, you see, and all this
Yes.
communication and decision making which we are talking about.
And they are
Yes.
very, very strong decision maker.
Yes, they are.
है ना, they develop. मतलब आपको बड़े बड़े डॉक्टर इंजीनियर उन माओ से मिलेंगे जिन्होंने स्कूल की शक्ल भी नहीं देखी हुई होती, प्रोफेशनली, जिनको हम कहते हैं कुछ नहीं आता. आई थिंक सभी साहब ने और फरियाल ने, आई एम सॉरी आप अभी आंसर कर रहे थे, मैं बीच में बोली, मैं छोटा सा पॉइंट है वो भी मैं बीच में ऐड करना चाहती हूँ, फिर आप इनका आंसर दीजिएगा. कि सभी साहब ने और अभी फरियाल ने इसको बड़ा अच्छा सा कनेक्ट किया था, प्रोफेशनल और पर्सनल डेवलपमेंट को. अगर एज ए पर्सन आप अपने आप को, अपने कंफर्ट जोन को ब्रेक करने के काबिल ही नहीं है, इफ यू आर अनएबल टू ब्रेक दैट कंफर्ट जोन विदाउट नोइंग योर ओन सेल्फ, हाउ कैन यू डेवलप प्रोफेशनली? जी फरियाल, आप आंसर करें, मैं बीच में अपना ओपिनियन बोला है.
हाँ जी. अच्छा, तो ऐसा है कि मेरा ख्याल है जो पर्सनल डेवलपमेंट है शायान, दैट इज अ लाइफ लॉन्ग जर्नी, एंड समटाइम्स people are aware of, most of the times people are not aware of, you see, because most of जो मैंने आपको एग्जांपल दिया है होम मेकर्स की, they are not aware that how what kind of multitaskers are they, and that is why I am saying that we need to embed or inculcate this awareness when the children are studying in school, whatever the gender is, because then when they will be, if they are working or if they aren't, if they are at home, if they are studying, that skill, that life skill would be embedded in them. They would know that as a person, they also need to improve. Maybe we can create communities like this more. Maybe we, professionally we can have certain sort of qualifications. We do get access to trainings, we do get access to surveys, and you are right, but as if we are not working and if we are just being at home, we get less opportunities to develop ourselves. So I think community like these, where we can have the opportunity to discuss these things and share our opinions and our beliefs and learn from others, I think that would be a tool for people who do not have access to a professional setting or a professional environment. The second skill that we need for personal and professional development is communication. If you can read this cartoon, the male person is saying, I'm sure बहुत सारे married भी होंगे यहाँ पे. In the moonlight, your teeth look just like pearls. And the woman is saying, who is Pearl? And what were you doing in the moonlight with her? So, it is just an example where you can understand that,
Lack of communication.
yes,
This is lack of communication.
lack of communication, and or how you perceive the other person's
Perceive things.
how you perceive things. So I think effective communication is the most important part of a person's professional journey. You see,
I have a question here.
जी, 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 yes.
You said before that for communication, perspective is also very important. What you think, you see. What is inside you, you see things according to that filter, right? So communication, I think communication is flopped. If you see things, if you do not change your perspective, if you do not work on your perspective, I think communication will not work if you will not handle it with care.
Yes, you're completely right, Asiya, because I was just about to quote an example, because when we work, we come across many people, who are, you would snap back at you. You say, because I have seen that younger generation, I'm sorry, I do not mean to, hurt their feelings, but people who are young blood, who are young, they have energy, they have the motivation to do things, and they have the drive to do things. But in that scenario, in that situation, sometimes they snap back at you, sometimes they're impatient, and then they don't realize that this is not the way of, communicating. I have also learned it by doing it. I was also a very reactive person emotionally, but
I think it comes with maturity.
yes,
Right?
it do come with maturity. It comes with maturity, but again, I would say we need to make our younger generation realize that this is also an aspect. You see, this is also, we can do it. This is also, today I was listening to somebody, I don't know the name, he was कोई अंग्रेज था, जिसमें वो ये कह रहा था that, when people eat food on the bed, we say, please do not eat on the bed. Do not eat or sitting on the bed. We do not say, can we eat on the table? So our focus, what is our focus? How do we communicate? You see? So I think effective communication is the core of success. You see? When you talk to people in a kind way, in a polite way, you put across your point of view by not being emotionally reactive, by not being snapping back at the people. For example, this is the most important thing when you resolve a conflict between two people. Conflict resolution के जो चार important parts हैं वो यही हैं, that you identify the problem and you sit with both the parties and you communicate with them. When you communicate, when you actively listen to both the parties, when you give them a feeling that they are being heard, 80% of the problem is gone. And when you explain to both the parties that this is the solution that might work for both of you. What is this? This is communication, but done in an effective manner, where you are resolving a conflict between two people, two students, two teachers, a parent and a teacher maybe. And when they feel heard, when you actively listen to them, when you do not raise your tone, if they are raising, you do not raise your tone. you keep your cool, you keep calm, then you would see the difference what effective communication does to yourself and to the other people.
So
And
for
when you are doing that, yes, yeah.
so for uh, effective communication, we need to work on, again, personal thinking. We
Yes,
need
we need
to
to work
work
on the
on
soft
our,
skills.
yes, we
Yes.
need to work on our personal bias. We need to clear it before
Mm,
any kind of communication,
yes.
right?
Now,
Right.
please, if I could just
Yes,
add,
Yes, sir.
Navita. Please,
Please.
please.
actually, you see, this is what we normally term as synergy. No, the synergy is it is the interaction or the
Yes.
cooperation between maybe two individuals or a group of persons in order to have a combined effect greater than the voice or of a separate person. Means in all, if some persons they get together, like you told that if you're teaching in a class and all the students they may come out with a certain point, in order to have better effect they ought to have synergy or combined effect, so that their the weightage is there. That means that it has a combined effect when it comes to this communication, which is definitely much better than maybe in a mob, as you were just saying, that two parties are there and maybe there are grievances and you have to resolve all those. So this is what we call synergy in order to compromise, cooperate, and have a very, very effective role in producing this effect. This is what I
Sabisa, can we call this effect synergetic effect? We are discussing right now, connecting on a single point.
Yes, of course. That's what I have told you. This is actually when we were Miss you see Farryal was just telling about
Mm-hmm.
and of course Miss Asif, you were also there, that
Mm-hmm.
in order to have an effective combined effect as far as communication is concerned,
Mm-hmm.
what we do is that we raise the voice, and what we do is we have to go in for a sound interaction or a cooperation, so that it may be individuals, it may be organizations, it may be nationwide, it may be internationally also. आप देखिए कई
Yes.
ममालिक हैं दुनिया के, वो इकट्ठे होके ग्रुप और लॉबीज की शक्ल में कम्युनिकेट करते हैं, और वो इतना इफेक्टिव रोल प्ले करते हैं रादर देन द इंडिविजुअल कंट्री इटसेल्फ, जो कि उसका इतना रोल इफेक्टिव नहीं होता. दिस इज व्हाट आई वांट
Wonderful,
to
Yes,
wonderful.
I completely agree with you, Sabi Saab, that some people do raise their voice, and maybe all of us have done somewhere this thing in our life, and we have learned with age, with experience and everything. But this is my point, that I have a 10-year-old daughter, and when I feel she is a bit upset, or she is kind of an unrest, there we need to embed that skill of, which I'm going to talk about now, which is emotional intelligence, which is the ability where you can understand and manage, and use your own emotions to maybe relieve stress, where you can communicate effectively, where you can empathize with others and things like that. So emotionally balanced personality, making the children realize that your emotional well-being is very, very important, and how you use your emotions. When I was small, I used to cry at every small little thing. I used to cry in front of my friends. I used to cry in front of my cousins. I used to cry in front of my khalas. I used to cry in front of my brother, sister, and mother. So I was a very, very weak person emotionally, I would say. And there is no shame in admitting it, because I feel that this is the time where I have gone through a certain stage, I have gone through a certain difficulty, and I have learned it by doing it, why can't we tell it to our children that this is very normal. आपको गुस्सा भी आएगा, आप सैड भी होगे, आपको रोना भी आएगा, आपको बुरा भी लगेगा, आप हर्ट भी होगे, आपके दोस्त की बात आपको बुरी भी लग जाएगी, आपका दोस्त समटाइम्स आपको हर्ट कर देगा, आपका दोस्त समटाइम्स आपको ऐसी बात कर देगा दैट आपने कभी इमेजिन भी नहीं किया होगा, एक्सपेक्ट ही नहीं किया होगा दैट योर फ्रेंड वुड से समथिंग लाइक दैट. मगर then that is the point where you are going to handle your own emotions. You should learn how to handle your own emotions. You should be emotionally balanced. So I think that is a very, very important and sensitive and significant part of personal development. और जब आपकी personality में ये चीज
लेकिन
आती है, जी आसिया.
यहाँ फरयाल, आई थिंक emotionally, to be emotionally balanced, it is very important to address emotions, actually addressing emotion, not hiding emotion. People usually think that by hiding emotion they are actually addressing emotion. If they feel something, if they feel insecure, for example, from their colleague, they do not show, कोशिश करेंगे उसको हाइड करें, बट वो इनसिक्योरिटी दिख जाती है बाय डिफरेंट वे. यू कम्युनिकेट, योर बॉडी कम्युनिकेट, योर जेस्चर्स कम्युनिकेट. सो हाउ टू डील विद दैट इनसिक्योरिटी, वर्किंग ऑन योर सेल्फ. आप काम करें, आप कुछ भी उसको देखें, उस इमोशन को हैंडल करना, क्योंकि हमें डराया जाता है ये किसी को पता चल गया तो क्या होगा, ये इसको ऐसे रख लें, इसको इतने. और ये वो चीज है जिससे मुझे लगता है कि हमारे बच्चे हमसे इतने फासले पर चले गए हैं कि वो बेटर समझते हैं कि वो इंस्टाग्राम पे टाइम गुजारें या वो कहीं और जाके बात करें, हमसे बात ना करें. क्यों? क्योंकि हमने उनको मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम हम ये कहते हैं कि वो हमारी इज्जत का जो एक वो लेके फिर रहे हैं, अगर वो कहीं इधर उधर हो गया तो इससे बहुत खराबी हो जाएगी. सो मुझे लगता है कि इमोशंस को एड्रेस करने के लिए इट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट कि आपका कम्युनिकेशन फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल बहुत अच्छा हो. जी
हाँ, बिल्कुल, यू राइट आसिया, आप बिल्कुल ठीक कह रहे हो दैट वी हाइड इमोशंस एंड वी थिंक दैट बाय हाइडिंग वी आर डूइंग अ राइट थिंग. That is why I'm saying, I tell my daughter as well, it is okay to cry, it is okay to sad, it is okay to be hurt. कोई मसला नहीं है, ये सारी नॉर्मल फीलिंग्स है, मम्मा को भी होती हैं, बाबा को भी होती हैं, सबको होती हैं, आपकी फ्रेंड्स को भी होती हैं.
और फरयाल, यहाँ आपकी बात से मैं मुझे जहन में आया, मेरा दिल चाह रहा है कि मैं वो बात ऐड करूं कि जब हम हर्ट होते हैं तो उसमें ये बात बहुत जरूरी होती है एड्रेस करना कि हम हर्ट क्यों हो रहे हैं, या हम एंग्री हो रहे हैं तो हम क्यों एंग्री हो रहे हैं. हम ये सोचते हैं कि जी दूसरे पे गुस्सा आ रहा है. ऐसा नहीं कि वो किसी सर्टेन बिलीफ के साथ वो हिट हो गया है, या हमारी कोई एक छोटी शॉर्ट कमिंग है जो खुल के ऊपर सरफेस पे आ गई है और अब हमसे बर्दाश्त नहीं हो रहा. सो अगर हम उस पेन को डील करना जाने तो आई थिंक के हम बहुत अच्छे बेटर ह्यूमन बीइंग भी बनेंगे, हम प्रोफेशनली साउंड भी होंगे, इसके बजाय कि हम अपनी उस ईगो को सेटिस्फाई करने के लिए अपनी लड़ाई को बड़ा करते जाएं, फैलाते जाएं.
बिल्कुल, यू राइट आसिया. सो एवरीथिंग इज इंटरलिंक्ड, यू नो. आप when you are self aware, when you know that your personal trait is this thing and you are self aware of that, then you can only work on this thing, right?
फरयाल, आई थिंक मुझे वो शायान थे जिन्होंने क्वेश्चन किया था अभी थोड़ी देर पहले, मेरा ख्याल है उनका हमें शुक्रिया अदा करना चाहिए, बिकॉज उन्होंने इसको क्वेश्चन को रेज किया है कि हाउ पर्सनल एंड प्रोफेशनल डेवलपमेंट दे आर कनेक्टेड. हाउ कैन यू कनेक्ट देम? अगर आप प्रोफेशनली साउंड नहीं है तो आप पर्सनली कैसे साउंड होंगे? तो मुझे यहाँ पे आंसर आ रहा है, ये वाली बात जो है मेरा ख्याल है राइटली एड्रेस हो रही है. शायान भी आ गए. जी शायान.
जी, मैं यही बताना चाह रहा था उस पॉइंट पे भी कि मोस्टली ऐसे होता है ना कि जो फीमेल्स होती हैं उनसे काफी एक्सपेक्टेशंस पेरेंट्स रखते हैं, और जब ऐसा होता है तो फिर वो प्रेशर में आकर ना उनकी जो इमोशनल इंटेलिजेंस या इसी बारे में अगर बात करें तो वो डाउन हो जाती है. और बॉय चलो फीमेल का तो हो गया, लेकिन जो बॉयज होते हैं तो हम भी उसे से गुजरे हुए हैं, तो बॉयज को, चलो फीमेल्स को पूछ लिया किसी ने, बॉयज को फिर पूछता वगैरह भी कोई नहीं है, तो बस
वेरी
वो तो
राइट,
फिर फुल
वेरी
डाउन
राइट,
हो
वेरी
जाते हैं।
राइट, वेरी ट्रू,
हाँ नहीं,
एग्जैक्टली।
और
आजकल तो
इसी में मैंने ये बात की थी कि प्रोफेशनली इंसान किस तरह रेज हो कि यार जब पर्सनली वो इतना डाउन है बेचारा। That's what I'm talking about.
Shayan, you're completely
वेरी
right
नाइस।
because nowadays ऐसा मैंने देखा है कुछ पोस्ट्स में कि जहाँ पे कह रहे हैं कि लड़के भी रो सकते हैं, men can also cry. So
नहीं
you are
फरहान,
right.
यहाँ पे शायान का पॉइंट बड़ा वैलिड है कि
नहीं
जो मैं भी इस पॉइंट को एग्री करती हूँ कि जो एक बेटी है ना, वो बड़ी होती है ना तो उसकी माँ से दोस्ती हो जाती है, तो वो माँ के साथ कुछ बात कर सकती है, लेकिन बेटे जैसे ही बड़े होते हैं ना, तो बाप के साथ रिस्पेक्ट का डिस्टेंस है, और माँ के साथ एज अ फीमेल एक जो बाउंड्री और एक डिस्टेंस है वो बनता है। तो जो बेटे हैं ना, मुझे लगता है उनको उनके इमोशनल वेलबींग को ज्यादा एड्रेस करने की जरूरत है, क्योंकि वो फिर बाहर दोस्त ढूंढते हैं, और जब वो बाहर अपना इमोशंस या अपना जो कुछ भी शेयर करते हैं, उसमें राइट और रॉन्ग का बहुत वो एक वल्नरेबल पोजीशन पर खड़े होते हैं।
बिल्कुल you're
What
right.
do you say?
इसीलिए I'm saying आसिया कि ये सारी चीजें जो जैसे शायान ने आइडेंटिफाई की दैट वो स्टेज से गुजरे हैं, और हम एज फीमेल्स आइडेंटिफाई कर रहे हैं कि हम एक सर्टन स्टेज से गुजरे हैं, तो हम क्यों एज पीपल अपने बच्चों में ये अवेयरनेस लेके आते, हमें लेके आनी चाहिए। मैं बहुत अरसे से कह रही हूँ, जैसे कोई इन आवर स्कूल वी स्टार्टेड अ प्रोग्राम व्हिच वाज कॉल्ड स्किल्स डेवलपमेंट प्रोग्राम, where we only worked on emotional intelligence and problem solving skills and things like that, and communication and blah blah blah. Why? And parents did not support us in the very beginning of the program, and they said that this is a complete waste of time, there are no books, there is no syllabus, there is no rote learning, unfortunately, तो ये क्या पढ़ा रहे हैं आप, ये क्या कर रहे हैं आप। But at the end of that program, after 2.5 months, when we showcased our projects, what students have learned, they were very impressed. And I think this is the right time we should embed these things into our curriculum so that our younger generation which is coming up, they should not suffer.
Very nice.
So the next slide is focus and planning. I think if you can see this cartoon, forget reorganization, the 5-year fiscal plan. Someone needs to reorder the cookies. आप देख रहे हैं कि इन सब तीनों की आंखें किधर हैं, कुकी पे हैं, बिस्किट पे हैं. So I think here comes the point of view of Shayan, where maybe we are talking about the people who are not in a working space, who are not employed anywhere, who are by choice at home. They are homemakers. They need to be focused, they need to plan things, because most of the times nowadays when I am in certain groups where the groups are of mothers and women, and most of the homemakers, they are complaining about the fact that we do not get time for ourselves. There comes the planning part. For example, when we go into a classroom, we always tell our teachers that you need to have a lesson plan. You should know that these 40 minutes, how you are going to spend those 40 minutes. कितना टाइम रीडिंग को देना है, कितना राइटिंग को देना है, कितना आपने बच्चे को समझाना है, आपने बच्चों से इंटरेक्ट कितने मिनट के लिए करना है, आपने उनको कुछ लिखवाना है, आपने उनसे ब्रेनस्टॉर्मिंग करनी है पहले लेसन के शुरू में जाकर, उसको कितना टाइम देना है. सो यू प्लान थिंग्स सो दैट यू कैन मैनेज द टाइम. So same is the case where people who are at home, they need to plan their time, they need to plan for themselves because they need to focus on certain things, they need to prioritize on certain things. So
yes, prioritize. Very
yes,
nice. Right word, prioritize.
Their focus and their planning, they should be clear in their head. They should be clear-headed. There comes the decision-making part. I come across people and I really like those people where they are really clear-headed. You go to a grade 9's class, you go to a grade 10's class, whether they are doing O-levels or metric, doesn't matter. If you ask these students, what do you want to become? You do not get an answer. They always think, हम क्या बनना चाहते हैं? एक दो बच्चे कहते हैं डॉक्टर, एक दो कहते हैं बाबा ये कहते हैं, मामा ये कहती हैं, या my father wants me to do this, my mother wants me to do this, my cousin is in atomic energy commission, I also want to become a scientist. You see, my falane uncle is in army, I want to be in an army. They do not have their own thinking, they do not have the direction, they do not have the guidance, they do not have the focus, they are not clear headed, they are not clear in their mind that what do they want to become. So that is why I feel that these soft skills should be embedded as skills into our children, so that when they grow up, they should be clear headed in their mind. So
Very
focus
nice.
and planning, this is very, very important, and it should be made part of our curriculum, the skills. And there comes the time management. The person is saying to the time, how can I be more effective at this? Yeah. Matlab, how can I be more effective at time management? And time is saying to it, plan to make time your partner, not an opponent. So I really like this cartoon, and I wanted to include here in
ये
my
भी
presentation that you see time management is so important. If I talk about myself, when I go to my office, when I go to my school, I always write. I always write that these are the three important tasks that I need to do, and these are the 2 or 3 or 4 or 10 minor tasks that can be done later in later part of the day. But these are the three important things that I need to do from 8 to 10 or from 8 to 9. And whenever I go to the office, I do write them. And this has helped me a lot. And what I do is, whenever a task, for example, I need to make a call to a parent, and that call is very strategic, and that call is very something where I am foreseeing that the parent is going to be a troublemaker, maybe. That is something which is concerning him, her, or her a lot. So whenever I'm done with that call, I put a tick in front of that written thing कि मैंने लिखा होता है कि मैंने इसको कॉल करनी है, या मैंने इनको ईमेल करनी है, या मैंने ये काम करना है. So I put a tick on that, and when there are 2 ticks, I feel myself, I feel relief in myself that these are the things that I have done, and now these are only 1 thing or 2 things or 3 things that I am going to do in the later part of the day. So I feel time management is personally also very important. आप घर पे हैं, आपने सुबह बच्चों को भेज दिया, आप उसके बाद अपने आप को टाइम दे रही हैं, आप अपने घर के कामों को टाइम दे रही हैं, आप कुकिंग को टाइम दे रही हैं. देयर आर स्टूडेंट्स जो कि इसी तरह अपने टाइम मैनेज करते हैं, करने चाहिए. और जब हम अपने बच्चों को ये चीज़ें सिखाएंगे कि आपके अंदर these soft skills should be present, which are very important: decision making, communication, time management, and being emotionally intelligent. I think all these traits are going to help them, whether they as a personality or whether they are doing something professionally. So this was all about my presentation regarding personal and professional development, and I'm open to the questions or sharing of the opinions if somebody has that.
Ma'am, can you please show the last slide?
This is
No, sorry, one before it.
okay. This one, focus and planning.
Yes.
जी शायान.
मैम, होता इस तरह है कि मोस्टली जो स्टूडेंट्स होते हैं ना, वो मतलब कॉलेज छोड़ते हैं, उसके बाद उनको माइंड क्लियर नहीं होता और वो ज्वाइन करते हैं यूनिवर्सिटीज. कुछ ने पेरेंट्स से मतलब मोटिवेशन ले ली होती है कि यार हम ये प्रोग्राम करेंगे, कुछ ने फ्रेंड से, और कुछ को बस वैसे ही सीए का जुनून चढ़ जाता है. तो जब वो जाते हैं लाइक स्कैन्स में चले गए सीए के लिए, या फिर किसी को एरोनॉटिक्स करनी है तो वो आईएसटी चले गए, या फिर इसी तरह की ना रिलेटेड यूनिवर्सिटीज में, तो वहां पर जब उन्हें जाकर पता लगता है कि यार इस तरह का सीन तो नहीं था, मतलब मैं इस फील्ड में नहीं आना चाहता, और फिर वो वहां से कुछ यूनिवर्सिटीज छोड़ देते हैं, कुछ ड्रॉप हो जाते हैं, और कुछ जो है मतलब वो वहां पर ही लाइक उसी फील्ड के अंदर मजबूरन उनको रहना पड़ता है पेरेंट्स की रिस्ट्रिक्शंस की वजह से, तो ऐसे पॉइंट पे वो जो स्टूडेंट है वो क्या करे?
See, I have a similar case at my home. My one of my niece, she doesn't wanted to become a doctor, but her father wanted her to become a doctor, and she's now a doctor.
Okay.
And every time I see, uh, basically she's my husband's niece, so every time I see her, she is in a very upsetting relationship with her parents. Their parents are proud of her. They are in the happiest moments of their life that, our our daughter is a doctor. But
Okay.
she said she, till this date, when she is practicing doctor, and she comes home after her duty and she says, मैंने engineer बनना था. मुझे तो I'm not happy.
So what should we do?
मैं कुछ नहीं. मेरा ख्याल है again शायान, when you have to give that decision making skill to the student in their early years, and you should completely you should tell the students, you should tell your children that this is what we think you can do, this is what you want to do, these are the pros and cons of both the things, merits and demerits. Now you decide that what you want to become. आई फील ये रिलेशनशिप के ऊपर भी डिपेंड करता है, बच्चों के और पेरेंट के. ये रिलेशनशिप के ऊपर बहुत सारे पेरेंट्स टीचर्स से राय लेते हैं, है ना. ऐसा है ना कि आप बताएं सर कि हमारे बच्चे को क्या करना चाहिए, एफएससी करे, आईसीएस करे, आईकॉम करे, क्या करे.
मैम मेरे साथ कुछ इसी तरह का केस हुआ था, लेकिन मुझे पेरेंट्स ने फोर्स नहीं किया था. उन्होंने मुझे फ्री हैंड दिया था कि आपने जो करना है वो कर लो. तो
और आपने
अब
क्या उनकी बात मानी?
नहीं, उन्होंने मुझे कुछ भी नहीं बोला कि यार आप ये करो. मैंने खुद किया. लेकिन मैं इस बात को रियलाइज कर चुका हूँ 3 यूनिवर्सिटीज छोड़कर, 3, के
हमारी यूथ कंफ्यूज्ड है.
यस, कि उस टाइम मैं बहुत कंफ्यूज था. और अभी वो पॉइंट है कि जिस पॉइंट पे आकर, मतलब अभी तो नहीं, मतलब 2-3 साल हो गए हैं, बट ये वो पॉइंट है जिस पे आकर मुझे समझ आ गया कि यार अपना इंटरेस्ट है किस चीज में. बट मेरे हिसाब से उस पॉइंट पे स्टूडेंट्स को हमें नहीं देना चाहिए वो वाला डिसीजन, क्योंकि आई डोंट थिंक कि ना वो कर पाएंगे इस तरह. क्योंकि मैंने पहले सीए किया, उसमें वो ड्राई सब्जेक्ट था, छोड़ दिया. फिर उसके बाद एरोनॉटिक्स में गए, ये मेरी अपनी स्टोरी है, वो भी छोड़ दिया. फिर उसके बाद अब सॉफ्टवेयर इंजीनियर हूँ मैं. तो इस तरह है कि ये जो चीज होती है ना कि खुद पे छोड़ देना, इसमें टाइम लगता है, लेकिन मेरे हिसाब से ये एक तरह से ना बेहतर भी है स्टूडेंट के लिए, क्योंकि उसे अपनी लाइफ का पर्सपेक्टिव मिल जाता है.
हम ना एज अ नेशन बहुत जाते हैं, वी गो विद द फ्लो, वी डू नॉट प्लान अहेड, वी डू नॉट अंडरस्टैंड द इम्पोर्टेंस ऑफ प्लानिंग बिफोर. अब जैसे इफ आई टॉक अबाउट माई डॉटर, मैं उससे हर वक्त पूछती रहती हूँ, बचपन से पूछ रही थी. मुझे भी बहुत शौक था कि वो डॉक्टर बने एज एनी अदर पाकिस्तानी पेरेंट, मगर शी इज वेरी इंटरेस्टेड इन कंप्यूटर्स एंड शी सेज मैंने कंप्यूटर इंजीनियर बनना है. अब मुझे नहीं पता वो किस तरह का कंप्यूटर इंजीनियर बनेगी, बट सीइंग हर इंटरेस्ट इन कंप्यूटर्स, मैंने उससे कहा कि चलो बेटा आप ना यूट्यूब पे ना कोडिंग की वीडियोस देखो और आपने ना उसके नोट्स बनाने. what am I doing? I'm just giving her the slight direction that if she wants to become a computer engineer, she should know कि कंप्यूटर पे बैठ के सिर्फ फेसबुक और व्हाट्सएप और इंस्टाग्राम नहीं चलता कंप्यूटर इंजीनियर के लिए. उसको तो लैंग्वेजेस सीखनी पड़ती हैं, उसको तो कोडिंग देखनी पड़ती है, उसको इनपुट और आउटपुट का पता चलना चाहिए. तो जब वो कोडिंग की वीडियोस देख के नोट्स बना रही होती है, तो उसको रियलाइज होगा कि ये मैंने करना है कि नहीं करना.
Yes, उसका इंटरेस्ट डेवलप हो जाता है.
Yes.
सभी साहब कुछ कहना चाह रहे हैं? सभी साहब
जी, मैं इस सिलसिले में ये ऐड करना चाहूँगा कि देखें, ये चीज़ इसलिए बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट है कि प्राइमरी स्कूलिंग से लेकर आगे तक जो तसलसल चलता है, कंटिन्यूटी होती है, उसमें आप ये देखें कि बच्चा जब प्राइमरी स्कूल में आता है तो उसका इंटरेस्ट देखा जाता है, और पर्टिकुलरली हमारे यहाँ पे भी इतने इफेक्टिव सिस्टम्स नहीं है। बाहर की दुनिया के अंदर तो जो उनके रिजल्ट कार्ड्स हैं उसके अंदर बाकायदा मेंशन होता है कि ये बच्चा जो है, ये बच्चा या बच्ची ये मैथ्स में ठीक है या आर्ट सब्जेक्ट्स की तरफ है या म्यूजिक या दूसरी एक्स्ट्रा करिकुलर एक्टिविटी स्पोर्ट्स वगैरह उसमें उसकी इन्वॉल्वमेंट है। तो उस चीज को, उस एप्टीट्यूड की तरफ वो बाकायदा उसकी एनहेंसमेंट की जाती है और बच्चा आहिस्ता आहिस्ता। सेकेंडली, माँ बाप के ऊपर ये आता है कि जहां तक माँ बाप पढ़े लिखे हों वो तो इस बात को समझ लेते हैं, लेकिन प्रॉब्लम वहां आती है जहां माँ बाप इलिटरेट हों, और वो जो शायान ने बात की है कि वो दूसरों की ओपिनियन लेनी पड़ती है या खुद बंदा अभी क्लियर होता नहीं कि उसने क्या करना है। अब उस केस के अंदर जो मेन चीज सबसे बड़ी आती है वो ये है कि बच्चे को डिसीजन ऐसे लोगों से लेना है जो स्पेशलिस्ट हैं, जो एक्सपर्ट है, हु हैव एक्सपर्टीज इन देयर रिस्पेक्टिव फील्ड्स। फॉर इंस्टेंस, एक बच्चा मैथ्स का बड़ा अच्छा है और वो राय ले सकता है अपने किसी भी दोस्त से, अगर दोस्त नहीं मतलब दोस्त या कोई अच्छा बंदा को, मैथमेटिशियन या किसी, कि जी मैं अंकल ये बनना चाहता हूँ, आप मुझे मशवरा दें। ये किसी टीचर से ले सकता है या नेट के ऊपर जाकर भी। आप आजकल इतनी चीजें हैं कि आप जाकर और ऑटोमेटिकली देख सकते हैं अपने इंटरेस्ट के मुताबिक। मे बी यू हैव ओनली नॉट ओनली वन इंटरेस्ट, आपके पास कोई ऑप्शंस हैं, 3-4 हैं, आपने देखना यार ये तो मेरे लिए बड़ी कंफ्यूजिंग स्टेट हो गई है, मैं कौन से दे। तो उसके हवाले से फिर जो है आप अपने तौर पे, और अभी जैसे मिस फरियाल ने जिक्र किया कि बच्चा अगर कंप्यूटर्स के ऊपर है तो उसको डेफिनेटली कंप्यूटर है तो उसका आर्टिस्टिक तो टेस्ट बनता ही नहीं किसी हवाले से। नो, अगर पेरेंट्स उसको कंपेल करें कि नहीं जी आपने आर्ट्स लेना है या कुछ। आई हैव बीन टीचिंग अ नंबर ऑफ स्टूडेंट्स, मेरे स्टूडेंट्स बेइंतहा हैं, थाउजेंड्स में, और अब यकीन कीजिएगा कि स्टूडेंट्स की जो की है और बड़ी बड़ी सीनियर पोजीशंस में इस वक्त मेजर जनरल बने हुए हैं और ये PhDs की हुई है उन्होंने। मैं इस दौर से गुजरा हूँ और बहुत ज्यादा। और फिर मेरा अपना भी इसमें, मैं थोड़ा सा अपना रोल अब इसी उसकी कॉन्टेक्स्ट में बताता चलूँ। मैं अपने बच्चों के साथ एज अ फादर भी रहा हूँ और एज अ फ्रेंड भी रहा हूँ। आप यकीन करेंगे कि मेरे बच्चे मुझे कहते थे कि जब हम आपके पास पढ़ने के आते हैं तो उस वक्त तो आप इतने स्ट्रिक्ट होते हैं, डिसिप्लिन्ड होते हैं, और जब हम खाने में बैठते हैं या अपनी एक्स्ट्रा करिकुलर एक्टिविटीज में इधर उधर, तो उसमें आप बड़ा फ्रीली, और इस तरह लगता ही नहीं कि आप वही टीचर हैं और वैसे हमें पढ़ा रहे हैं। सो बातें जो हैं ये सारी हैं इंटर रिलेटेड, मगर जो बात, जो क्वेश्चन है उसके हवाले से ये बड़ी सॉरी देयर इज डिस्टॉर्शन इन ये वॉइस में, कोई डिस्टॉर्शन आ रही है। आई एम नॉट श्योर दैट यू कैन हियर मी और नॉट।
हम सुन रहे हैं आपको, सुन
हाँ
रहे
जी,
हैं,
आप
सुन
करें।
रहे हैं। जी,
तो बच्चे की जो बेसिकली बात यही होती है कि जो शुरू की ग्रूमिंग है ये यहाँ नहीं है, बाहर की दुनिया के अंदर भी ये बहुत बड़ी प्रॉब्लम है, और उसमें फिर जिस फील्ड में बच्चे का इंटरेस्ट हो उसके मुताबिक किया जाए। अब एक थर्ड एस्पेक्ट बता दूं जो सबसे बड़ी प्रॉब्लम जो आपने भी जिक्र किया, बच्चा कहता है जी मैंने इंजीनियर बनना है, डॉक्टर बनना है, लॉयर बनना है। माँ बाप कहते हैं नहीं, हम जो चाहते हैं वो ही तुमने करना है। वो बच्चे की जो सोच है उसको समझ नहीं पाते, और उसके लिए मैं आज आपको बताता हूँ। आई एम कोटिंग माय ओन एग्जांपल नाउ ओवर हियर। मेरा सबसे छोटा बेटा उस्मान, ही इज एन आर्किटेक्ट इंजीनियर, और उसने क्या किया कि उसने अप्लाई किया, उसका टेलीकम्युनिकेशन के अंदर उसका जो है वो आ गया। हम लोगों ने घर में बड़ी खुशियां मनाई, सब कुछ। और उसके आफ्टर 6 मंथ्स सेमेस्टर के कंप्लीट होने के बाद मुझे कहता है कि बाबा मैंने ये कंटिन्यू नहीं करना। तो मैंने कहा व्हाट डू यू वांट टू कंटिन्यू, मतलब इट वाज अ बिग सेटबैक। कहने लगा मैंने तो आर्किटेक्चर करना। हम बड़े परेशान, मैंने बड़ा कन्विंस करने की कोशिश की कि बेटे आप, वो नहीं माना। तो थिंग इज कि मुझे हैंड्स अप करने पड़े, और फिर उसके बाद उसने आर्किटेक्चर में किया और वो आर्किटेक्ट बन गया। दिस इज इन ऑस्ट्रेलिया, मगर मैं आपको बता रहा हूँ दिस इन ऑस्ट्रेलिया, मेलबर्न में, और इतना बड़ा वहां का है कि अच्छा खासा वहां पे बड़ा उसकी मतलब एक वेल रिपीटेड उसमें ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में। मगर उस मेरे जो लोगों ने मुझे बताया, कहते हैं कि सभी साहब आपके बच्चे ने जब अप्लाई किया था सेकंड टाइम, तो जो चॉइसेस होती हैं जो एप्लीकेशन फॉर्म पे, फर्स्ट में आर्किटेक्चर डिजाइन, सेकंड में आर्किटेक्चर डिजाइन, थर्ड में आर्किटेक्चर डिजाइन। आप जस्ट इमेजिन, मैं उस वक्त कितना सर पटा मेरे का, अगर जो खुदा ना खास्ता ये रह जाता उस वक्त और इसको कोई एडमिशन इसका ना होता तो ये तो ही वुड हैव गॉन डाउन द ड्रेन और बड़ा मसला बन जाना था। मगर अब जब वो आर्किटेक्ट बना है, आप यकीन करें वो बच्चा जो बड़ी मुश्किल से 4-5 घंटे पढ़ता था, वो 18 घंटे पढ़ के आर्किटेक्ट बना है। बात सिर्फ घुमा फिरा के, सॉरी मैं लेंथी हो गई, कि बच्चे के शौक को देखें, आप उसके फ्यूचर स्कोप को देखें, आप ये चीजें, और आप किस कंट्री में आपने सर्व करना है वो भी देखें कि जहां आपका फ्यूचर, आपकी प्लानिंग है। फॉर इंस्टेंस एक बच्चा जो है वो चाहता है कि मैंने अगर इंजीनियर बनना है और मैंने ऑयल एंड गैस पे करना है, तो द राइट थिंग इज कि वो ही शुड थिंक ऑफ मिडल ईस्ट और एनी कंट्री जिसमें कि वहां पर ऑयल वगैरह की सारी हो रहा है, या अगर कोई पाकिस्तान में स्कोप है कोई ऐसी जगह। लेकिन ये एक ब्रॉड स्पेक्ट्रम के अंदर मैंने थोड़ी सी जो भी लिमिटेड नॉलेज है मैंने आपको।
वेरी नाइस, थैंक यू वेरी मच सभी साहब, आपका इतना यूजफुल इनपुट आया। ये मेरा ख्याल है गुल अफरोज जो है वो बात करना चाह रही हैं, अपना ओपिनियन देना चाहते हैं। प्लीज आप 1 मिनट दे दें जरा, हमने वो बिलाल ने एक छोटा सा डेमो देना है।
जी प्लीज,
और
प्लीज।
जी 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 जी
Thank you so much, Sabi Saab. I just want to show you how to give review to this session. So you will sign up, as you will sign in to your account. If you're a tutor, then it's fine. If you're a student, then it's fine. But if you're a tutor, you will need to switch to student account. This is the green button. And if you're using mobile, and then on top left, you will find the menu button. And then you will find this button, switch to student. So you will click on it. And you will scroll down a little, and under my tuitions, you will find on top is Farryal Qureshi's session, and this is a yellow button to leave a review. So after this session, please do not forget to leave a review. Thank you so much, Miss Asia.
थैंक यू। अच्छा जी, मेरा ख्याल है यहाँ पर गुल अफरोज जो है वो बात करना चाह रहे थे। गुल अफरोज।
Thank you so much, first of all, and assalamu alaikum everyone.
वालेकुम अस्सलाम। जी जी।
Yeah, my opinion is basically that I just want to share my experience. First of all, I just when I apply in a university, so my father forced me that I have to go in finance, because according to him my accounting and finance skills is good. But my interest was that I want to go in computer science, because my intermediate is in computer ICS, and I want to go and I want to pursue my education in ICS and software engineering. But he just said one thing to me, that if you follow my opinion, if you pursue your career according to my opinion, that I want to see you as a financer, I want to see you that you have to go in finance field, you have to go in accounting field, so you will earn more and you will feel comfortable after doing that thing. But I said one thing, that no father, I want to go in computer science, but because I am more interested in computer science, and I have a skill, I want to learn new software, I always prefer to learn new techniques that are related to IT technology. But my father forced me that I have to go in finance. So I complete my graduation in finance. But after my graduation, I did one thing, that I have a time for, you can say that, for the pursue as a professional career. So I just continue my field, I just shift my field in IT and start getting different kind of certification. You can say
Very
that
nice.
yeah, I just apply in different platforms, Udemy, Coursera, and different kind of platform, Air Force, and I start getting different kind of certification that are related to IT, and I just earned that certification. And after that certification, now I have a lot of opportunities to apply in different fields, because I have a finance related education, and I have a certifications of different kind of IT related fields. So at this point in time, at this time of period, in if you see that the time of our country, so we are facing a lot of issues. So in this time period, I have a lot of opportunities that I can apply as a IT person, if I see that there is an opportunity for me, and I can apply as a financer. So nowadays I am working in a both field, that I work as a financer and I work as a IT. I just apply as a I work as a freelancing basis in IT field, and I work as a financer as a permanent job. So this is sometimes it's like that we have to focus on both things, that we have to focus on our parents decision, that if the parents wants that we have to go in specific field, so we have to pursue in that field. But after the graduation, after the when you feel like that now I'm free, I have a lot of time to do whatever I want, so we can do our interest, we can do that thing that we want to do and use that thing as a skill at
Yes,
that time.
I agree with you, Gulafroz, because when you have the motivation and drive to pursue whatever you thought about yourself, and
Yeah.
if you did not get the opportunity or did not get the time to pursue it, but if you have the motivation and passion and drive to continue it afterwards, you can do that as well. Nobody can stop you.
Yeah, to be honest, ma'am, during my graduation time, I always prefer to study. I always related to IT, and most of the time when I have a free lectures, so I just go in a computer science, software engineering classes, and just try to sit in that guy. Even I am not enrolled in that field, but they know that the teachers know that yeah, she is more interested in IT, so they just allow me that yeah, you can sit in the class, you can attend the class. So it's not a big deal. So it's depend on the person thinking, and it's depend on the person motivation, person hard working, and the person interest that he or she wanna go in that field or not. Because a lot of
Thank you.
people,
Yes, Gulafroz, please complete your sentence.
yeah,
Yes.
because a lot of people they are so confused nowadays that they just go in some field, and after 1 week 2 week they just shift their mind that they have to go in other field, and they are just confusing, and they don't know even that where they have to go. And that's the big issue, that they have to focus on their on a one field, that they have to go in specific field, and they have to pursue their career in that specific field. So
Thank you
it's,
very much, Gulafroz. Wonderful. Nice to hear from you that you work for your passion as well, and you
thank you so much.
um, care for your opinion for your parents as well. You are clear-headed. You don't have any kind of confusion, because you're brought up matters a lot, and there are so many reasons behind students that they face confusion. Sometimes they don't have those resources and opportunities that you have, and there is your motivation level, and we are very much impressed from you. So a lot of learning. Thank you very much, Gulafroz. Thank you very much, Farryal,
Thank you, Asya. Nice
for
to be here.
giving us such an insightful connection between personal and professional development.
Thank you,
And
Asya.
I think everybody have so many key takeaway from here, 6 pillars and key time management and so many things. See you inshallah ta'ala on next Thursday with the new presenter. Thank you very much, Farryal,
Thank you,
for
Asya, for giving me the
being a
opportunity.
part of our community, and
बहुत
we would
मजा आया.
love to
I'm
have
sure,
you, Hanji,
I'm
on
sure
every
that
session.
I would also like to join as an attendee and learn from you.
हाँ, हमारे पास यहाँ पे देखें, अब सभी साहब है ना, वो एक ऐसा पार्ट है हमारी कम्युनिटी का कि हम जैसे उनका ओपिनियन के बगैर हमें लगता ही नहीं कि आज का स्किल शेयर जो है वो कंप्लीट हुआ है कि नहीं, और इतना वो इंसाइटफुल थिंग आती है और इतना मजा आता है और वो हमसे कनेक्ट हो जाते हैं. सो वी आर वेरी ग्रेटफुल टू हिम एंड एवरीबडी जिन्होंने इसको बड़ा पेशेंटली सुना. थैंक यू
very much. Thank you for
ओके जी. थैंक यू बिलाल.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, everyone. Hafiz.
अल्लाह हाफिज.